In this video, we'll perform a few common functions utilizing the Windows Explorer client interface with the Dimension CM tool. Specifically, we'll take a look at how the icons change when we make a modification to a file, rename a file, and other common functions. After we make a change to a file, we'll show how to invoke the Compare and Merge tool. Then we'll wrap up by committing our changes to the repository. Again, all through the Windows Explorer interface. When the Explorer plugin is active and there's a difference between a file and an item in the repository, the file icons are overlaid with a dimensions icon that indicates the type of change that has occurred in the work area compared to the repository. Here's a list of those icons. So let's take a look at what these look like in the Windows Explorer. Here we see the About file has been edited. The training file was renamed from Learning. So let's apply a lock to a file and make a change to it. Here we see a lock icon on the default file, as well as a change icon. We can see the locked icon in the other interfaces as well. Here's the web interface, the desktop client interface, and the Eclipse IDE client. We don't see any other changes or renames yet because we've not committed our changes to the repository yet. Before we commit our changes, let's do a compare on a file. All you need to do is right-click on the file and then select Compare. This brings up the Merge tool, and we can see the changes that we've made to our file. Now we're ready to commit our changes to the repository. We can deliver an individual file, a subset of changes, or all the changes at once. If you want to commit all your changes, you would right-click on the root folder and then select Delivery under the Dimensions menu. This brings up the Delivery Wizard, which allows you to filter the type of changes you may want to commit to the repository. But perhaps you're working on two different tasks, one related to files under the source directory and one related to files under the web content directory. You can cancel out here and perform the delivery on the subfolder, or you can choose to ignore from within this dialog box. So let's ignore the source changes by right-clicking on the source folder and selecting the Ignore option. Now we can deliver our web content changes and relate the files to a task that is related to just those files that have been modified. So let's click on the ellipsis button and we can search for our task in the search box. Here you can filter the search by different criteria. The type and pending are the most commonly used. I'll search on my pending task. And then I'll select the task and click Finish. Now we're ready to commit our changes to the repository and relate the files to the task. If we want to view the changes made to our stream, we can right-click on the root folder and then click on Change Sets. From here, we can also check on the peer review process of our changes. This concludes the video on a few operations that you can do, all from within the Windows Explorer interface.